Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is where you're at right now. It's evening for me. And I think I may have just not gotten on the right live link here, but I'm sure you'll see it. For those of you guys that are just coming on, I think I clicked the wrong button, me and my good job with all my technology. So it's Wild Card Sunday is what I called it, which means I really don't have a specific topic that I want to talk about. A lot of things I have going on in my mind as far as what's happened over the last few weeks. And so if you're out there, and I know I won't get my UK group tonight because it's about 2 in the morning, I believe, where they're at right now, maybe 1 in the morning. So I'm sure my group from the UK will not be on, but maybe I might get some people from Asia and New Zealand and Australian groups that I don't normally get. So if you are on the live, please do me a favor, say something in the comment box because I like to make sure that everybody can hear me. I like to make sure that I've got some chat going back and forth because that for me is the most fun part, is being able to do the chat, letting people say, I say hello, people say hello back, and that's awesome for me. So if you're out there, please say hello. I know sometimes we've had issues where the chat box didn't even work. And so that makes it a little bit weird for me because I don't know who's out there and who's not out there. So if you're on there, please say something, say hello. I'd love to hear from you. That'd be awesome. Now, with that being said, I told you this is Wild Card Sunday. What I'm going to do first of all is briefly talk. We have another, Burbank has another summit coming up on November 9th, 10th, and 11th. It's going to be noon to 6 Eastern Standard Time, so 12 to 6 Eastern Standard Time for the next Burbank Summit. And yes, it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I've already been asked multiple times, why is it a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday instead of a weekend? The most important thing is we're trying to listen to our customers, see what they want, what they need. And one of the comments we got on the last one was, well, I couldn't make it over the weekend. Is there any way you can do it during the week? So we are obviously doing it during the week. For those of you guys that were on the last one, I'm going to send out the invitation again. We had over 50 people on our last Burbank Summit, which was actually our first Burbank Summit, which was amazing to me, a lot of fun. We had people all the way from Hong Kong, all over the Philippines, Europe, UK, obviously Canada, and the US. So a lot of different people from all over the world on that first summit. A lot of fun, learned a lot of stuff. We also, what I'm doing over the course of the last week now, so a week ago tonight was the last day of the summit. We did Friday, Saturday, Sunday. A week ago tonight was the last day of the summit, and since then, I personally have been calling almost everybody in the group that we had, and the reason I'm calling everybody personally is because I know the only way that I can improve is to get feedback from other people. So I just got off the phone with two different people here in the last hour or so. I just talked to Masuk and I just talked to Stephen Chung, and I'm constantly getting feedback from people. And why do I want feedback? Because that's the only way you're going to know how you improve in anything that you do. A lot of people don't like feedback because they think they take it as criticism. Well, I'm sure all of you guys have heard constructive criticism. And so no matter what somebody says to you, they're telling you from their feelings what they either thought you could have done better, what they got, what they didn't get. One of my business partners, Dan, says, how did it land? And sometimes things don't land the way that you intend them to land. So we want to make sure that we're always doing the follow-up. That's part of our sales process, is following up. If you remember the 10 rules of selling, the first 5 are listen, 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 listen. The last 5 are support, 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 support. Now, part of that support is talking to your customers and asking them what they want. Asking them what you could have done better, asking them what they liked, what they didn't like. Because what that's going to do is it's going to improve your presentation, it's going to improve your sales process for the next time. Or for my Canadian listeners, my sales process. Either way, what happens is when that process is going on, what you're starting to find out is that they're going to tell you what they liked, what they didn't like, if it's something that you should do again. So I think it's important to note that when people give you comments, they're not just criticizing you, they're giving you constructive criticism. And that constructive criticism allows you to do a better job the next time and the next time and the next time in everything that you do. So that's really what we want to do when we're talking to our customers, is find out what they want. And that's part of everything that we're doing here, is making sure we understand what our customers want. And so as we talk about the Wild Card Wednesday, if you would, or Wild Card Sunday, pardon me. Last time I did Wild Card, it was Wild Card Wednesday, is we need to always consider that follow-up as part of the process. That follow-up is very, very important in everything that we do. And so I'm constantly listening to my customers, making sure I'm getting them what they need. I've talked to, like I said, many of you over the last week. I still have multiple people to talk to this coming week. And that's why I want to make sure I send out the invite for those of you guys that were on the summit last Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or a week ago, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're all invited to come back on again. There'll be new Zoom links and things like that. So please shoot me an email, let me know, because what is the true way to learn? It's called repetition. It's doing it over and over and over again. So we want to make sure that there's plenty of repetition on everything that we do. Now, if you guys are chatting in the chat box whatsoever, I'm not getting any chats. So I can't tell if anybody's chatting. So I appreciate if there are comments going in. If there's not, that's fine too. But I'm not. I know I had this happen a couple of other times on the chat box that nothing happens and I get no comments. So I'm sure there's people there that are chatting. And if you are, I apologize for not answering. I will definitely go back and make sure that I do that because that's part of the follow-up as well. So we talked a lot about the fact that repetition is the key to learning. And so everybody that was at the summit, one of the things we talked about a lot was NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. I've done some stuff with Neuro-Linguistic Programming over the course of these Facebook Live videos. We're going to continue to talk more about Neuro-Linguistic Programming, NLP. And what NLP does, what it does, John, is it actually allows you to use embedded commands. And what I want to do, and when I use names on a regular basis, I'm doing what are called embedded commands. Because what I want to do is work with the subconscious. If I'm working with the subconscious, that means your conscious doesn't hear it, but your subconscious does. And if I can give you commands that your subconscious hears that your conscious may or may not hear, then that allows me to get a message through at a deeper level. And we can constantly do that with sales and sales communication, is get to a deeper level of understanding, get to a deeper level of communication. We do that by saying words in a certain way. We do that by using words in a certain pattern. Some people even call it hypnosis to a certain extent. I'm never done a hypnosis thing, so I don't know enough about it that I can even speak intelligently on it. But what I do know is that if you say things in a certain pattern, if you use names, Bob, in a certain way, then you can get certain commands to come out, and you can do it in a way that people are very receptive to it. Why are they very receptive to it? Because you're talking to the subconscious, not the conscious mind. What happens is our conscious mind has barriers. My good friend Sam Musa talked about this over the weekend. The conscious mind has certain barriers, and the only way that we can get through those barriers is to get to the subconscious thinking. And if we want to get through those barriers, we have to do things in a certain manner. And so as we talk about Wildcard Sunday here, I'm getting off on tangents with NLP and the subconscious versus the conscious mind. That to me was the thing we got the most feedback up over the weekend. And so when we got all this feedback, one of the things people kept asking us about was more NLP, more NLP, more NLP. And so what we want to do is we want to offer more of that. We want to make sure that our clients, our customers, whoever it is that you're talking to, you're giving them what they want. What's that? That's part of the listening, part of the 3L system. Listen, lead, link. So we want to listen to what our customers are saying, lead them in the direction that they want to go, and then link up what they want versus what we've heard from them. That's the listen, lead, link comment that we've been talking about. Now, how does that work with NLP? You may have a total aversion to something, whatever it may be. It may be that you don't have time in your mind to do something right now. And so your barrier is time. It may be that money is your barrier. You just don't have any money to do something right now. So your conscious mind is thinking about time and money being the biggest barriers for you to do something in your life. So if we can some way, somehow communicate to the subconscious mind that you do have time, that you do have the money to do this, then you can push through those barriers. If all I do is not talk about money and or time, and all you do is your conscious mind has this as a barrier, then I'm never going to break through. So how do we break through? We do that through examples. We do that through embedded commands. We do that through a communication style that allows us to actually get people to act in a certain way. The embedded commands means we're using names a lot of times so that when we say the name and you put a comma after it, it then becomes a totally different meaning to that person. And so when we're using these types of things, we are actually training the subconscious mind to hear thoughts, to hear words, to hear ideas, to hear even commands in a different way. They're called embedded commands because we are actually commanding the subconscious mind. And that's why it's so important to learn these at a higher level. It's not hypnosis, it's not tricks, it's not sorcery, it's not witchcraft. I know we just got done with Halloween and some people are going to think, well, this sounds almost like it's spooky. No, it's a complete way of talking to people so that when you talk to them, they hear you in a very specific manner. And so I got people tell me they don't even see me live. I'm not sure where it's going, but I am on a live call somewhere with somebody on the Facebook Live. So I'm not sure where it's going to, but hey, I'm going to keep going. And so I'm going to text my buddy back here who just told me he doesn't see me. And so my wife is probably my wife sent something different. So this is creativity in action. I don't know where it's going out to right now. I'm not real good with the technology. I've said that about a kabillion times, but for some reason, mine says Pip Stellick is live now in Wildcard Sunday. So I don't know. I'm not getting any comments in the comment box, so who knows where it's going to. I find this whole internet world to be a little bit vague. I don't know who's getting what, who's not getting what. Don't know how the Facebook stuff works. And I know I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying I don't get it. And so sometimes I have 200 comments in the comment box. Sometimes I have 0 comments in the comment box. I get the same amount of people watching it, but the amount of comments is totally different. Why that is, I have no idea. I've got another Facebook pulled up over here. Maybe if I go on here, I can see where it might be coming out and coming live. Well, I just pulled up and there's other live videos and mine isn't on there right now. So I don't know where mine would be. But either way, I've got multiple screens going here. This will tell you I know nothing about technology. It's amazing that even though you don't know anything about technology, you can still get some stuff done. I think my business partner Dan says this all the time. Done is better than perfect. I really want these Facebook Lives. I really want everything to do when I do a training to be perfect. And what I figured out a long time ago is I'm never going to be perfect. Done is better than perfect. So at least we're getting it done. It's being recorded so people can go watch it later on, and that's completely fine. We were talking about embedded commands. And I'm going to text back to my friend here. He says, I don't see it live. I said, I am on. I'm not sure where it is. So I can't multitask. So I'm going to try to do this while I'm talking to you and try to explain to Tim where it is. So not sure where it is, my friend. So as you guys are coming back onto this and you watch it in a recorded version, that'll be great. And an embedded command just basically means I'm going to say something, Tim, in a way that you can understand. I'm going to say something, Jennifer, so that you're going to be successful. So if I say it like that, what Jen hears is Jen is going to be successful. She doesn't hear the first part of that. That's the subconscious doesn't hear that. The subconscious, all they hear is, Jen, you're going to be successful. Tim, you're going to be all right. I can say specific things and I can put things before the name that the conscious mind hears, but the subconscious mind doesn't. This is very powerful training. This is very powerful stuff. And if you learn it, you can then become much more successful at every relationship you will ever have in your life. This is one of the things I have to say that disappoints me about something that I put out there on Facebook and everything. And everyone's like, well, is this sales training just for salespeople? Is it for a specific kind of sales? It's for everybody. I've said this multiple times. This should be called communication, not just sales, because every one of us has 2 ears and 1 mouth. If you have two ears and one mouth, you should learn these skills. You'll become a better parent. You'll become a better spouse or significant other in your life. You become a better teacher, better preacher. And I know some of you guys are going, you've said that 15 times. I've probably said it 5,000 times in my life. Why have I said it 5,000 times in my life? Because the conscious brain needs to hear it 1,000 times. The subconscious brain only needs to hear it a couple of times. And so when we use embedded commands, it's sinking in at a much deeper level. And since it's sinking in at a much deeper level, what it's doing is it's processing in your mind at a deeper level. So if we can learn to use things like embedded commands, we can get a result, an action taken much quicker from our clients, our students, whoever it is. If you're a pastor at a church, if you're a parent, you can use these skills on a regular basis to get a much better result. We're going to talk a lot more about NLP. We'll talk more about embedded commands and all that kind of stuff. I know this video is a little bit shorter than some that I've done in the past. I know people are texting me, asking me where they can find it. So I'm not even sure where it's at, why it isn't working, but hopefully it's out there in cyberspace somewhere. I'm sure my wife will figure it out, find it for me, no problem. But until the next time, what I want to say is a couple of things. First of all, I got to brag as a proud dad. And some of my buddies that I played high school basketball with will know how much I wanted to play in the state tournament. The state basketball tournament is what I wanted to play in. And we went and watched the state basketball tournament year after year after year. And in fact, I just got off the phone with one of my brothers about this. My dad took me to the state basketball tournament every year from the time I was about 5 or 6 years old. I would be able to get out of school to go watch it. My dad had a string of like 40 some years where him and his friends had gone to the state tournament, basketball tournament, for year after year after year. My dad played in the state basketball tournament in 1939. That's how long ago it was. I was going to the state basketball tournament in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. My dad still was going even into the 90s, so he enjoyed that so much. And so I, unfortunately, did not get the chance to play in the state tournament. We were in the district finals 2 years in a row, but my friends Spike and all the guys, Corey, all the people that I played with know that we were this close. Just didn't quite make it. My wife, amazingly enough, got to play in the state tournament back in, I believe, 90, 91, whatever year it was when Nebraska City played. And I'm not sure. I think they got to the semifinal. I know they got to semifinals and got beat. So she got to play in the state tournament. My oldest daughter, Riley, was close in districts twice. Didn't quite make it. 89 is what my wife just said. Sorry, Jen. And so what's interesting is my youngest daughter, Carson, her volleyball team is now in the Final Four in the state of Missouri, Class 4 state Missouri tournament. And we're headed down to Cape Girardeau. If anybody knows where the heck that is, it's in the Boot Hill. It's a whole heck of a long ways away from where we're at. But we're headed down there Wednesday for a tournament on Thursday and Friday. And so root for the Platte County Pirates. We'll have another state. We have another state qualifier in the family. It's not Riley and I. It's Jen and Carson. But what was interesting, and this is why I want to tell the story, and I never know who's going to listen to these. And if it touches even one person a little bit, then it was totally worth it. I was talking to my brother on the phone, and we were both emotional because we knew how cool that would be for my dad to have seen his granddaughter play in the state tournament. Obviously, that didn't happen. My daughter was not even born until a month after my dad died. My wife was pregnant with Carson when my dad died. And this is not meant to be sad. It's actually, I'm reminiscing because this is why I called it Wild Card Sunday. I didn't know what I would talk about. We talked a lot about NLP, but this point right here is what I really want to get out there because I truly believe these are the types of things that I'll remember the rest of my life. And the fact that my daughter gets to play in the state tournament, it's going to be a blast. We're going to have a lot of fun. Win, lose, doesn't matter. She gets to make that experience. And I know my dad's going to see it from a much better place, and he's going to be as proud as can be. And all my business partners will laugh when I'll say this. He's going to be watching from up above, and he's going to be smiling so big he could eat a banana sideways. That's how big he's going to be smiling. So I'm excited for that. There'll be some more Facebook Lives before we leave for Cape Girardeau. We're going to do some stuff on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week. I'm having a lot of fun doing these. Once again, go to BurbankSummit.com. I'm going to try to put that in the chat box down here. I don't know if it's ever going to be seen, but I'm going to put it down here one way or another. So BurbankSummit.com, and we are going to be doing the summit again on the 9th, 10th, and 11th. BurbankSummit.com. Please register. A couple of things. It does cost $100. I've said that before. The reason we have the money on there is because, well, first of all, you're going to get some cool gifts if you get signed up sooner rather than later. There's supposed to be a surprise, but I'm ruining the surprise. I'm not real good with surprises. Second reason it's $100 is because we want to make sure you have skin in the game, because if you don't have skin in the game, nothing's going to change. You've got to have skin in the game. It's got to hurt a little bit. We also offer 100% money back guarantee. If you didn't like the training, then you get your money back. So 9th, 10th, and 11th, be on there. For the next time on our Facebook Live, looking forward to see you. Make sure you turn to somebody you know, somebody you don't know, somebody you just met. Tell them they're going to be all right, because we're all going to be all right. Have a great day, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Where did it go?
I don't know.
Tim said... So Tim's texting me.
So
He's
just
like,
you end?